the kids decided that to be educated, they had to go out of the country. This was before the order was sending kids out of the country.
Mm.
And so they said that they decided that they would pick one of them. We had 4 kids, and decide which one should be the one to represent that we were a global family, and that was part of education. Did Paula tell you this story last night?
Mm.
So they had me write letters. They said, we don't want to go to Europe because that's too much like the United States, and we don't want to go to Latin America because it's more apt to not speak English. And so I wrote letters to every embassy in Africa and Asia. And asked them if there was any way that some person could go, and they picked Paula to be the one, because Roy was going into his closer to graduation, and then I forgot what the reason was. Anyway, they picked Paula. And so we arranged for her to go to the Ivory Coast, but we didn't have any money, of course. And so the kids all got jobs and for the summer, so that she could go to the Ivory Coast in the fall. There'd be money to pay the transportation. She went to the Ivory Coast to stay with a missionary. And we arranged to stay with the missionary. And Paula worked as a mother's helper, and Roy worked in a print shop, and Dina worked for the credit bureau, and Larry got a newspaper corner, just with the Christian Science newspaper. And so we had enough money to buy this ticket. So she goes off to the Ivory Coast, and her French was not good, but she had studied French. So we thought if she misses a grade, she's already skipped 1 grade, so she'll just be even. So this will be fine. And so
How old was Paul?
14. So she goes off to the Ivory Coast. Well, when she got over there, it turns out that the ambassador over here was on the outs with the local government, and that's why he'd been assigned to be the ambassador over here to get him out of their hair. And he didn't have any influence with the local authorities in Abidjan. And they tested her French, and they said, your French isn't good enough. You can't go to this school because you would take the place of another student who would benefit more. And we don't have enough high schools for our own people. So they wouldn't admit her to school, so she called. She said, well, let me go to school, what can I do? So we tried unsuccessfully to get her into a Catholic school. So she came home after only like 6 or 8 weeks in Africa. But we decided that it had done its job because they all now knew that they could handle anything, and they could go anywhere, and they could do whatever they wanted to, and that's what we were trying to do. Later it became part of the order's philosophy to send kids away to other places and do things, but at that time